Now that I have my character actually here and speaking and showing an animation, I want to go one step further and add an audio file to this so that we get some voice acting from this character. To do that, we have to use an external tool called FMOD to create what we call an FMOD sound event, and Mazer Maker is what we use to actually play those events. So to create new sound effects, what you'll have to do is you'll have to use a program called FMOD. You can install this on Windows or Mac. What's important is that you install the correct version. Specifically, we're using FMOD version 1.7.7. So you want to make sure that you download that version for either Mac or Windows. Install that on your computer. Once you do, you'll be presented with this window when you first open up FMOD. Now, we already have an FMOD project for the game, which is how we import all the files into Unity. So we're going to just open up that project and edit files within there. To do that, go to File, and go to Open, and you'll get a file browser. Specifically, we want to go find the StarMazer folder where your repository and Unity project are. And from there, go into Assets, go down to Sound. You'll find two FMOD projects. We want to go into the StarMazer FMOD and select the StarMazer FMOD.fs profile. When you open that up, it'll load up, and we'll go ahead and open up our project. You can see a list of the events that we already have in the project over here. They're all organized into different folders. If you select one of them, you can even preview it. So there's a lot of information that goes into specifically making these events and the ways that you can combine sounds. That's a bit beyond the scope of this tutorial. And if you want to learn more about making FMOD events, you can go ahead and check out information tutorials on YouTube that FMOD has released. We're going to go ahead and just create our own simple event. We will create a new folder of it, so we have some sort of organization to this. To do that, just right-click here when you don't have an event selected and select New Folder. We'll call this Wiki Demo. Inside there, we're going to right-click again and create a new event. Call this Wiki Demo Sound. Now, the first thing we need to do is actually add audio to this event so we can play it. To do that, go into the Window menu and open up your audio bin. This is a collection of all the raw audio files that we have in this FMOD project. We can organize these into files as well. But to go ahead and add a file, what you'll need to do is actually drag it from your Finder or Explorer window. So I'll bring up my Finder window and I'll go find my audio file, which I've created with painstaking love previously. We'll drop that in, and then we actually have access to this audio file. Finally, to use this audio file in our event, we drag this audio file to the event. Show me what you got. We can close our audio bin because we don't need that anymore, and we can preview it to make sure it's the sound we want. Excellent voice acting there. So, our event is already created. There's many properties that we can adjust with the event, but we'll leave it at the defaults for now. Once again, if you want to know more about editing FMOD events, you can check out that information on the FMOD Studio YouTube website. The last thing we need to do is we actually need to assign this event to a bank so that our game can load it in the correct collection of sounds. To do that, you right-click on the event and you go to Assign to Bank, and we'll select Master Bank. If you go over to the Banks tab, you can see all the sounds that we have assigned to our master bank. For now, we're just going to use one master bank. We might use more in the future if necessary. With that, we're done with creating our FMOD event. We just need to go ahead and export this information. To that, go to File and select Build. This will go ahead and build the project into folders that our game can understand. Last thing we need to do is go to File, Export GUIDs or GUIDs. This will create a text file which will list all of our events by name, which Mazer Maker reads so that we know which event we're selecting. With that, we're done with FMOD. We can go ahead and open back up Unity. Unity automatically loads this, and we can even see confirmation from this log in the console that we've loaded up the assets correctly. Let's go ahead and use this asset now to play a sound when our character talks. I'm going to add an action. I'm going to add a play sound action. When I select it, we have a bunch of different properties that we can set. The ones I'm interested in is I want the sound to play from a specific object. Now, our character doesn't have the ability to play sound himself, so I'm just going to use the music box object, which exists in every scene and is there just for playing sound effects. Now, when I click here, I'm going to get a list of all of our events, and this is the exact same folder structure that we saw in FMOD. Simply, I'm going to go to Wiki Demo, and I'm going to Wiki Demo Sound, so I can go ahead and load up our sound file that we just created. I want to set the target volume to 1, and I don't want any fade on this, either intro or extra. Now when I play the game, we should be able to hear the sound. Let's go ahead and try it out. Now, when we talk to our character, show me what you got. We have some amazing voice acting for our character. Excellent.